Hello, I'm Howard, pastor of the Roseville New Church, and welcome to Spiritual Shorts. This Sunday we celebrate Palm Sunday, the day the Lord rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. Crowds shouting, "Hosanna!" waving palm branches, laying their cloaks as if welcoming a king. And he was a king, but not the king that they were expecting. Because while the people cried for deliverance from Roman rule, Jesus came to deliver them something far deeper. Our hearts, our minds, our very souls from bondage. And before the cross, before the empty tomb, there was a meal where everything changed. If you've never been part of a Jewish Passover Seder, let me invite you in. Imagine a warm home, candles flickering, the smell of roasted lamb, spices, and matzah in the air. Sacred songs being sung. Children asking, why is this night so different from other nights? This is the setting for the Holy Supper. But something deeper was happening. Swedenborg tells us the Passover meal is more than history. It's the spiritual story of every soul seeking freedom. The lamb, it's a symbol of innocence, the trust and purity we're all called to rediscover. The unleavened bread, it crackles as it's broken. A symbol of truth without pride, humility, sincerity. Those bitter herbs, they sting the tongue and can bring tears. They represent the pain of temptation, yet also the purification of the soul. The roasted lamb, roasted by fire, not boiled. That symbolizes love's refining flame. Not comfort, but transformation. And the blood on the doorposts, divine truth joined to love. A spiritual protection for all who live from innocence. And one more thing. Nothing was to be left until morning. Nothing wasted, nothing half-hearted. The Lord was asking for the whole heart, for full commitment to the journey ahead. And the meal was shared together, not in isolation. Because this isn't just a story about individuals. It's a story of heavenly community. Now imagine this same meal. But Jesus is now reclining at the table. He lifts the bread and says, "This is my body, given for you." Suddenly, everything changes. This bread becomes more than a symbol. It becomes his very presence, his love made edible. Then he lifts the cup, filled with red wine, the color of covenant and sacrifice. This is the new covenant in my blood. This is no longer only about Egypt. It's about spiritual deliverance right here, right now. It isn't performance, it's invitation. Jesus offers more than ritual, more than memory. He offers himself. Swedenborg says that this moment was not the end of the Passover. It was its fulfillment. The bread becomes the Lord's divine love. The wine becomes his divine truth. And the meal becomes communion, a sacred reception of his life into ours. When we eat the bread and drink the wine, we are saying, "Lord, I receive your love into my heart. I receive your truth into my mind. Come, live with me." The Passover was for one people. The Holy Supper, it's for the world. The Lord's table is open to all nations, all souls, all hearts. And he is still saying, "Come and dine. Come and live. Come and be one with me." This Holy Week, as we remember the crowd crying, Hosanna, let's also remember that table. The table where old symbols found new life. The table where God's love became bread. The table where sorrow was met with promise. The table where the Passover became the path into paradise. And so I leave you with this blessing. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Spiritual Shorts. If this message moved you, please like, subscribe, and share. And join us next week for a very special Easter message on Spiritual Shorts.